Well, hey there, everyone. How you MFers doing today? I know it's been a while since I made one of these, but I've sort of been sidetracked. I've been caught up with greed. So before we get started, let me start you out with this. What do you get when you cross a cow with a duck? Wait through the end of this and you'll find out. So people ask me a lot of times why I'm into the paranormal, cryptid, UFO world. So it's a little bit of a long story. Get ready to buckle up your pants, you SOBs. It all started when I was a kid, just hitting puberty. I would start out going to bed, be fine, just like I am now. And then I'd wake up in the morning with scratches. And then the scratches went to bruises. And bruises went to bite marks. So I know you all are like, oh, yeah, it was the house was on bad land or the house was haunted or whatever. Well, I can't speak for the land, but the house was built by my family. So I was like 9 years old when the house was built. So, and it was like 13 when this started happening. So I don't think it was anything to do with the house. Maybe the land. I'm not sure. So I get older, move out, move to different houses, even join the Navy and go to boot camp in Orlando, Florida. Still happened. Followed me wherever I went. And it seemed like the activity would get worse if I was in a bad mood or I was depressed more than a bad mood, more depressed than a bad mood. So went through a lot of shit in my life, positive, negative, almost died a couple times, no big deal. And I noticed something. Like I said, it was there, but all of a sudden now about, I want to say probably about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I had been doing, I became, when I did paranormal investigations, more of a provoker and instigator. I actually went out and looked at what do you call it? The star, the satanic star that someone had made out of tree branches out in the middle of the wood. And we were doing an investigation. I had EMF meters, voice recorders, you name it. And we couldn't get any responses. So I actually, being the instigator, said, hey, if you don't respond, count of three, I'm going to walk into the middle of your little star here and I'm going to urinate all over you. I didn't say urinate. I'm trying to keep this clean. So it didn't respond. So I walked into the middle and urinated all over it. A couple weeks later, I was out with my girlfriend and we're walking along this beach line, shoreline beach, whatever you want to call it, where the rumors were, and it's actually not a rumor, it's true, but the government just won't admit it, that when they created the local dam, they paid a company to dig up all the cemetery, all the plots in the cemetery, move the bodies, move the tombstones, and so forth. Well, they took a shortcut. They actually just moved a lot of the tombstones, the head markers, and left a lot of bodies there. And I think about 20 years ago, there was a rash of the bodies being washed up or uncovered, not washed up, but uncovered when the water receded. And people were finding skulls and femurs and so forth. So we walked along that section and we found some old foundations from houses that used to be there. And we found a couple actual old headstones that were wore clean. You could see them, but they were perfectly cut granite headstones. I mean, that doesn't just happen in nature. And again, I instigated. Dumb move. So it started then where I would go to sleep and I'd wake up not only with the scratches and the bruises and the bite marks, but now I was starting to wake up on the floor. And I'm like, how the hell did I get on the floor? I don't remember falling out of bed or anything. And so one night I'm sitting there and I could feel myself getting pushed and pulled towards the edge of the bed and getting ready to fall out of bed. And at the time, I was a power lifter. I was very strong. I was not only fat, but I was very strong. And I put my left arm out there and said, I'm not ending up on the floor tonight. I'm sleeping in bed. I started in bed. I'm staying in bed. Next thing I know, I went flying across the little space there between the bed and the closet door. And I hit the closet door so hard and I fell onto the ground. I'm like, what the happened there? I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, all right, whatever. So it got so bad with me falling out of bed all the time that I got my camping air mattress and I blew it up, and I was sleeping on my air mattress out in the middle of the living room. Because this way, if I fell out of bed, I didn't fall very far. Well, that sort of, I guess, irritated or upset whatever was doing it, and it amped its game up even more. I remember the one time I actually set the camcorder up and I took a video of it, where you see me get up out of bed and I'm sitting there on the floor, on the side of the air mattress on the floor, and I'm doing this. I'm just rocking back and forth, and my eyes are closed. And then all of a sudden you see me get shoved over to the side, and my head hits into this portable bar I have with this, brass handle and, carvings and everything, and ripped open the side of my head. So I'm like, all right, that wasn't good. So then another time I got up, and it's like it did it again. It pushed me out of the air mattress and onto the floor. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I got up, I'm going to the kitchen, and I'm trying to get a glass of water. And I reach down to grab the glass of water, and something pushes me from behind by the head and slams my head off of the corner of the table. I mean, instantly it broke part of my orbital bone in my eye. My eye went shut. I couldn't see out of my eye. It was just purple and swollen. And I'm like, I'm laying on the floor at this point, and I'm screaming, help me, someone help me. And I live alone. At the time, I didn't even have a pet. Now I have 6 cats. But it's like, what the heck happened there? I mean, and it's like, finally, after probably about 15, 20 minutes, I crawled myself up, went to, and never do this, Sharon Regional Hospital emergency room. I'm the only person in there. I'm sitting in the emergency room, the only one in there. And this is like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I sat there for an hour and 20 minutes, and not one person came out to say, okay, we're sorry it's going to be late, or okay, you'll be getting you in soon, or not. And he just let me sit there. So me being me, I got up, stormed out of there, called off work that day. So this stuff kept going on. I hope they don't mind, but I'm going to use their names. Brian Seach and Terry Seach contacted their friend Aurora Sawhide, and she came out. And Aurora is very, very knowledgeable and very good with cleansings and things like that. So she went through and she actually cleansed my house and left the little, brain injuries, can't always process the word I'm looking for, these little bags, and she put them up in key areas of the house to stop the negative energy. And she also, there's a great big mirror that was at the house when I moved in at the end of the hallway. She said to put something across it to distract the image. This way, the energies couldn't pass through, in and out, and to keep all the closet doors closed at all times unless I was in there getting something. So, for 5 years since then, everything's been good. Everything has been good. No more attacks in the middle of the night. No more getting thrown out of bed, getting smashed into tables and furniture and things like that. No more provoking. I still do a little bit of investigating. Mostly now I focus on Bigfoot and UFOs, because sitting out here in the woods is definitely a lot more enjoyable than sitting in an old abandoned building that's full of mold, dust, rats, bats, mice, you name it. This is definitely a lot more enjoyable. But the only thing is, within the last 6 months, the scratches have come back. I'm waking up with the scratches again. So I did something in the last 6 months that has brought this energy back. And I need to figure out what it is and do some soul searching and make sure it stops. Well, me being me, I'm out here in the woods, and I'm going to continue reading my book, The Iroquois Supernatural. There's no place like the middle of the woods in order to read this. And yes, I've had Bigfoot experiences out here. So who knows, maybe while I'm sitting here reading, I'll have some sort of Bigfoot experience. I have my light and sound bars out there, and they're dancing away with my voice. So I'll hear any type of noise, whether it's infrasound or regular sound, because these go down below the 20 hertz for their sound pickup. And I have with me an EMF meter. So this EMF meter, if you can't see, will also do RF and multifunction. So if there's any type of energy around, because some people say Bigfoot is interdimensional, this should pick it up. So we'll see. But like I said, right now I'm going to focus on reading the book and just relaxing a little bit. So USOBs, oh, I know, I promised you the end. What you get when you cross a cow with a duck, you get milk and quackers. All right. Remember, whatever you do, do not like, do not follow, do not subscribe, because I don't think y'all can handle this adventure I call my life. This rabbit hole is too deep for you. Peace out.